Welcome back to the Chapter Café, where every story is steeped in feeling and every episode is brewed with care. I'm your host, Kristen, and today we're curling up with Game Changer by Rachel Reid, a book that's as warm and nourishing as your favorite morning smoothie. This is the first in Reid's Game Changer series, and while the stakes are high, fame, fear, and the NHL, the heart of the story is tender, quiet, and deeply human. So grab your mug, maybe a blanket, and settle in. We're about to talk about love, closets, and the courage it takes to live out loud. Let's start with the basics. Game Changer was published in 2018 and introduces us to Scott Hunter, the golden boy of the New York Admirals. He's a professional hockey player beloved by fans and media alike, and he's also deeply closeted. Then there's Kip Grady, a history nerd and smoothie slinger who works at a juice bar near the team's practice facilities. They're meet cute, a hangover, a smoothie, and a superstition that turns into something much more. This isn't a book about coming out with a bang. It's about the slow, sometimes painful, and sometimes joyous process of letting someone in, and then deciding if you're brave enough to let the world see it. At its core, Game Changer is a study in contrasts: public versus private, fear versus freedom, safety versus authenticity. Scott is a man who's built a life around control. He's kind, generous, and deeply lonely. Kip, on the other hand, is out, open, and quietly confident. He's not flashy, but he knows who he is, and that quiet certainty becomes a lighthouse for Scott. So let's talk tropes. We've got closeted celebrity meets out civilian, slow burn with a capital S, found family, soft cinnamon roll meets anxious golden retriever, and the power of rituals. But what makes Reid's take on these tropes so special is the emotional realism. Scott's fear isn't overblown. It's grounded in the very real risks queer athletes often face. And Kip's patience isn't saintly, it's human. He sets boundaries, he gets frustrated, and he wants more. And that's what makes their relationship feel so earned. Let's talk about our leading males. Scott Hunter is a fascinating protagonist. He's not your typical alpha athlete. He's gentle, a little awkward, and deeply afraid of losing everything. His journey is one of incremental bravery, of learning that love isn't a weakness and that vulnerability can be a strength. Kip Grady is the emotional anchor of the book. He's not flashy, but he's magnetic. He's the kind of character who feels like a friend, someone who'll make you tea, lend you a book, and call you out when you're hiding from yourself. Their relationship unfolds in stolen moments and quiet gestures. It's not about grand declarations, but it is about showing up, again and again, even when it's hard. If you were building a Game Changer playlist, here's a few tracks to help set the mood. Secret by the Pierces for the ache of hiding, Only Love by Ben Howard for the quiet devotion, and Call It What You Want by Taylor Swift for the moment that Scott realizes he wants to be fully seen. And yes, that last one is a perfect Easter egg for the Reputation era vibes that thread throughout this series. If you're the kind of reader who likes to bring stories into your space, here's a cozy idea. Create a Game Changers reading nook. Think of a soft throw in Admiral Blue, a stack of queer romance novels, a framed quote, and of course a blender for your Kip Grady smoothies. Game Changer isn't just a romance, it's a reflection of the quiet revolutions happening in real life. As athletes come out, we're seeing the power of representation in real time. Reid's book doesn't pretend the world is perfect, but it does offer hope. It says you can be scared and still be brave. You can be soft and still strong. You can love and still be learning how to love yourself. But for now, I'll leave you with this. Love doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it shows up in a smoothie shop wearing a baseball cap, and sometimes that's enough to change everything. So until next time, keep your heart open and your books close. This has been the Chapter Café, where every story is a comfort read in disguise.